Now we will see the SJ Mason's gain formula. So using the Mason's gain formula, how we can determine the transfer function or overall gain of a particular signal flow graph or SFG. Okay. Now you can see here, this is T is nothing but the transfer function of the system. This entire equation will be in S domain. This entire equation will be in S domain, and T is equal to 1 by delta sigma, which is the summation sigma of K, Pk and delta K, sigma Pk and delta K, where T is the transfer function of the system, enter the enter transfer function, which is output by input, the Laplace transforms. And Pk is forward paths gain. Pk is nothing but the forward path gain. What is K here? K represents the number of forward paths that we are having in the signal flow graph. We know what is forward path, right? Forward path is nothing but it has to start at the input node and it has to end at the output node, from input node to output node, and it will not come across a single node more than once. So that is the condition. So we have to determine the number of forward paths so that we can get the K value. So K is the number of forward paths, and Pk is nothing but the forward path gain of kth forward path. That means if we are having two forward paths in our SFG, two forward paths means K value will be 2. Then in order to calculate this P, forward paths are 2, that means we will have P1 and P2. P1 will be the forward path gain of first forward path, because 1 represents first forward path. So P1 is the forward path gain of first forward path. P2 is the forward path gain of second forward path. So P1, P2 are nothing but the forward path gains, simply represented as Pk here, multiplied by delta K here. What is delta K? Before knowing about delta K, we need to know about delta. Let's see what is delta. So delta is calculated with this formula. You can see here 1 minus, and in the brackets, sum of individual loop gains. So we know how we can how to determine the individual loop gains. So for SFGs, there may be one or more than one loops. Okay, so we have to calculate individual loop gains, and we need to add all those individual gains here in order to get this term. We have to calculate individual loop gains and we need to add all of them to get this block. So you can understand easily when we solve the problems. Okay, so this term is that one, and the second term plus sum of gain products of all possible combinations of two non-touching loops. So we have to check the number of possibilities of non-touching loops. We know what is non-touching loop, right? So we have to calculate the gains of those non-touching loops, and we need to determine the possible combinations, and we have to multiply those non-touching loops. Those gains if we are having two different combinations, so we should add the first combination gain and the second combination gain and write it here. So that is this term. And the third term, which is minus. So in this formula, 1 minus one term plus second term minus third term plus fourth term, like this will happen. In the first term determines individual loops. So single loops. Individual loops are nothing but single loop gains. Second term represents two non-touching loops combinations. The second term, we can see two non-touching loops combinations. But in the third term, same as in the second term, it is third term, three non-touching loop combinations. So three loop combinations we have to identify, and we have to write the gains, addition of gains, all those three non-touching loop possibility gains here. And when we go for 4, we need to check for 4 non-touching loop combinations. However, uh, 4 non-touching loop combinations are that not easy, because if we find 3 non-touching loop combinations, then the problem is so much complex. If we find 3 non-touching loop combinations, the problem looks like very much difficult. So that means there is no chance of occurring 4 non-touching loop combinations in general. Okay, so we can see we won't see 4 non-touching and so on. At most we will see 3 non-touching, very rarely. This 3 non-touching also very rarely. If we see this one, then that problem is very complex. Okay, this is how we can calculate the delta value. When we solve a problem, then we can understand it very clearly how to solve, how to get these terms, how we can calculate individual loop gains, two non-touching combinations, three non-touching combinations, how we can determine all of them. You can clearly able to understand these when we solve the problems. And the last term, that is delta k. This delta k is the part missing. This delta k is the part that is missing in the graph, which is non-touching by kth forward path. That means, suppose I'm having a forward path like this, and in between I have a few nodes, and it is like this. Okay, so this is the forward path, and here you can see this part is not touching with this forward path. So delta k can be determined as 1 minus the missing gain of this forward path. So this is how we can calculate delta k. See, k is the forward path number. So if we have two forward paths, means we need to calculate delta 1 as well as delta 2. So delta 1 means first forward path. Let us say, suppose this is first forward path. So whether any portion of the graph is not touching with this first forward path, we need to check. Okay, this part is not touching. Now write the gain to calculate the delta 1. So the delta 1 is 1 minus this gain, this missing gain. Right here, 1 minus that 1 minus of that missing gain. That will be our delta 1. And delta 2, suppose some second forward path is like this, and there is not each and every part of the graph is touching to the second forward path. So delta 2 will be 1 minus, nothing is missed, so simply keep 0, 1 minus 0, or simply 1. So this is how we can determine the delta k values. So in order to achieve the overall transfer function of a signal flow graph or SFG, we need to calculate all these terms to determine the entire transfer function or overall gain of the given SFG. Very simple. We need to determine all these terms and substitute all these terms here and simplify. We'll get the transfer function. This is how we can use Mason's gain formula to calculate the transfer function for the signal flow graphs. Okay.